And so I come to remind us this morning, I come to remind us on this September date that we too, like my college kids, are peculiar people. That we attend church while many others have abandoned it. That we live under a unique set of values, a distinct set of priorities, a unique way of being human. We use our monies and wealth and possessions differently than many others around us. We don't hoard it because we trust God's provision. There will be more. We do give it away generously as a way to love neighbor and to love creation. We do steward it well, using it to do good in the world and to fight injustice. We don't see the world like everyone else. What is your cosmology, friends? How do you see the world? What is the future of our world? See, it profoundly matters in these days like never before. If we see the world only through the eyes of the humanity, if we only see it through the eyes of our limitedness, then it may seem like it is hopeless and doomed. If we see the world through an economic or political lens only, then it does seem like it is ending. It does seem like it's all going to hell, and the necessity to escape becomes our way out. This is the rhetoric of many today. You probably heard it at a memorial service. And see, I know that messaging so well because I too was an evangelical and Pentecostal one time. And I still carry the good, shall we say, of the Pentecostal and evangelical. But I remember, as a young man, I was taught to fear the outside world. I was taught that any other kind of brand of Christianity was essentially wrong or lost. Often the pastor's sermons would ridicule or belittle other traditions and other Christian traditions and other religions. I was made to believe that my tradition was the only one right, more holy, more biblical, more right than any other tradition. I was taught that things were black and white, that there was no room for nuance. If the Bible said it, then it cannot be questioned. I could not have friends that were not Christian unless I was trying to convert them over to my tradition. There was this hidden superior ideology that made me better than others. But underneath it all, there was great fear and insecurity. The rigidness in my theology did not offer space for diversity of thought or questioning or thought. And so it was me against the world, and the end of the world, the rapture, often sounded like a better place. Let me say something. I've been praying and praying so to better understand God's heart, God's view of the world. And I don't pretend to know God's cosmology, so I'm careful with the words I will use. But I do sense that God's view of the world, God's view of the evolution and future of our world, is not based on fear of neighbor or creation. And it certainly does not derive from terror from the other side. It does not abide in anxiety or panic. And it certainly does not perpetuate violence, hate, nor a desire to destroy neighbor because my neighbor does not believe like me. And this is precisely the danger we are in today. This intentional mixing of Christianity with politics. Christ does not need to be defended. Christianity does not need to be forcefully put into the White House, and certainly does not need to be pasted onto legislation or executive orders or bills or laws. And listen, I realize that today's America has been distorted by social media, by AI, by online presence. It has created these two factions, these two distinct ways of viewing the world, two distinct algorithms with opposing views. It is not only harmful, but downright scary how technology is perverting our cosmology. It has radicalized many of our young people. It has perpetuated falsehoods to the point that we cannot tell what truth is anymore. So how do we respond, friends, to such political violence, such polarizing times, extremism, division, opposing views, technology? See, this is where I begin to use today's wisdom as a way to remind us that who we are and who we ought to live. It begins with remembering the gospel, the good news, remembering God's view of the world, of the cosmos. Since the resurrection of Jesus, we have been on this journey towards reconciliation of the world, this holy flow that has been healing the universe, making it new, that no matter how bad things get, that no matter how divided it may feel we are as a humanity, and no matter what tragedy or injustice is upon us, there is always time to make things right. You see, this is the good news of Jesus Christ. This is the gospel we proclaim here week after week. It is never too late. Did you hear me? It is never too late. It is never so far gone to treat our cosmos and neighbor like an existential threat and to ignore the hope, the full healing that we know is coming, the full wholeness that as followers of Jesus we know is coming, and perhaps the most unchristian thing to do, to forget. Do we not understand what the divine is doing with our universe? Friends, our world is being healed through the flow of the Trinitarian God putting everything back together, everything being made new again. God wins at the end. Love wins at the end. All things are made right at the end. And this understanding of how God views the world should free us, should liberate us to give ourselves fully to love neighbor and creation. Regardless of our ability to make it happen here and now, we know things will be fine because God said so. We trust not in ourselves, but in the one who was, who is, and who is to come. Remember, we are about the ministry of reconciliation. We are about the ministry of healing. We are about peace that surpasses our understanding. We are about liberation for the oppressed, good news for the poor, peacemakers for the world. So let us return, Calvary by the Sea, to the spiritual practice of remembrance. You are a peculiar people, a resurrected people, a liberated people who live like there is hope for this cosmos, knowing that all things will be healed and made right, because that is God's cosmology. Word of God and word of life. And we all say together, thanks be to God.